For Michael Cantú, the poem begins with an image, as it did for the imagists of the 20th century, whose tool was the precise carving of a clear and immediate visual gift, an offering from poet to reader. Cramped hands, crooked backs, a white marble urn, the pre-dawn light filtered by fog, women and men in the freezing fields, shouldering ladders and shears. This is where his book, Rice and Beans by Candlelight, begins, in the shadow of the Sierras, with sugar-sweet apricots and an unstoppable breeze sucking heat. Those are all lines from the collection. As is this one, quote, I never figured how to climb out of this valley, fertile desert surrounded by mountains wondrous with canyons of kings, unquote. For those of us who make our lives here, who have loved and mourned and survived and thrived in the San Joaquin Valley, we will recognize these poems, lyrical meditations on faith, family, labor, alienation, and loss, all backdropped by the fever dream of California. As the manuscript unfolds, the images compress to energy, unspools into wildness, unfastens into visual experiments, ekphrastic and persona poems, then regathers itself again. The closing poem, A Dashboard to Pantoum, shows Mike's ability to inhabit a form from 5th century Malaysia, make it his own, and infuse it with the valley's particular radiostatic moonlight. What I've appreciated in working with Michael these last 3 years is his willingness to stretch himself, to experiment and expand beyond imagism, to do the hard work of excavating his own subjectivity while dwelling in grief and a complex vulnerability. Quote, the shattered mirror, 1,000 worlds of disrepair. Every eye reflecting is me. And it's Sunday morning and my mouth is full of foul, fallen leaves, my moth-winged tongue dry and ashened, and I choke on every breath, unquote. What a line. Michael, congratulations. I'm honored to be celebrating you tonight, fellow teacher, fellow poet. Please join me in welcoming Michael Cantú.
That was unexpected and wonderful. Thank you so much. Well, if no one else has cried tonight, I'm going to. It's pretty par for the course if you know me. And if you don't know me, well, you'll get to know me a little bit more tonight. First, some thank yous. I'd like to thank God for getting me here. It's been a lot. It's been a really long time. I'd like to thank CSU Fresno for accepting me and providing such a wonderful program. We started this process during the COVID lockdowns and navigating uncharted waters together. This felt like an equalizer that eased my mind as a returning student older than most of my classmates. At least none of us had done this before. I would like to thank the Andres Montoya Foundation for the scholarship support that they provided for me, as well as the Edward and Alberta Brown Foundation for the support they provided as well. I would like to thank my thesis chair, Professor Brynn Saito, for all the time she spent with me, listening to me explain what was I was attempting to do with my poetry and failing at. I'd like to extend thanks to Professor Tim Skeen for pushing back on my desire to stand on soapboxes and yell into the wind. I would like to thank Professor Stephen Church for being so welcoming as the first professor I studied under in this program. His excitement for the possibilities ahead of us and his unabashed love for the content we studied set a wonderful tone for the program, and I knew I was where I needed to be. Jefferson Beavers. I met him more than 8 years ago when I brought in my students to the Fresno State Young Writers Conference. I reached out to him years later, and he remembered me, or at least he said he did, and I believed him.
I did.
And he helped me navigate the application process and everything that entails. For that, and all the unsung, tireless, behind-the-scenes work that you do to keep the show on the road, thank you. Miter Bang. It has been intimidating, to say the least, to study under such an avant-garde poet. Thank you for pushing me to look beyond the left margin. Dr. Weston, I appreciate your translations class more than I can fully explain. I'm glad I was able to study under you twice in two very different points in my life. Ronald Zerigan, who helped me remember that you don't have to set your roots down. To all of my contemporaries, classmates, and friends, thank you for putting up with me, especially when I rambled and made no sense. And behaved like a cranky old man. So, to all the other faculty and staff that helped me along the way, thank you. This is where I start crying. To my parents for always being there. I hope I've made you proud. To the Hopers, my in-laws, thank you for all of your encouragement. My daughter, Devin, the whole world is in front of you. Take it. And my wonderful wife, Abigail. And I can't read this because I'm crying already. Okay. What can I say? Thank you for your just overwhelming support. Thank you for putting up with me. I was supposed to start myself a timer and I forgot to, so I think that took about 4 minutes and I'm going to go with that. This first poem is called An Ode to Home. And this is me trying to stretch myself, and I don't know where it is going, but I liked it, so I want to share it. An Ode to Home. On white wings, elder stars, fury and grace, behold the glory in the chaos and rain, the fracture of the golden sun. Earthquakes in the palm of an open hand. Succumb to the silence of the void. Close your eyes and see footsteps gods left behind, reservoirs of lifeblood, scarce and unclean. Lightning swords, ancient, never dull, never miss, unpredictable and beautiful. A child sees a mountain, a standing sentinel out his front door, his world encircled, snow-capped and warm. A shelter, provider, clean streams run clear to freshwater lakes of sustenance and tradition. Born into the spear, he grows strong, strong enough for the dagger, strong enough for the axe. And he walks in the shadow of the mountain, and he sleeps in the mountain's embrace. And one day he climbs through scrub brush to the tree line into the thin air. Alone over granite rock faces, feet slip on burning sand. Befriend the owl, befriend the fox, beware the wolf and his wise smile. Charge through the precipice, raise your axe in triumph, scream your name into the wind. Stand in the glory of the setting sun, a new journey lies within. Wake to the gray dawn storm on the horizon. Give thanks for past failures and new trials to begin. The next two poems, this one is titled The Ancient Howl. Excuse me. The next two poems have been chosen to be published in the Hayes Journal here on campus. This is The Ancient Howl. In this fucked up symphony, the turbine well plays a steady rhythm. The water falls, fills the irrigation system. The crickets play the violin, the frogs play bass out of time. In my house, the cricket is good luck. Does the farmer feel the same? Does the carnivore cannibal cut into profits? From the road, the cars and trucks play solos with tailpipe exhaust notes as motorcycles like dive bombers scream past. The closing time tide rolls in a crescendo at 75 miles an hour or more, eroding the sleep I can never seem to reach. Falling through the air, the flight path of sky whales groaning as they slow in. Sharon naps in his ferry, lamenting advancements in technology and the relative safety of air travel. There is no time for gods caught in the World Wide Web. Does anyone sit for symphonies anymore? Does anyone have the time for listening? The light pollution is an unspoken issue, a consequence of the advancements we crave. The ashtray is filling up as the bottle is emptied. This ars poetica is Frost's unchosen road, the path of least resistance leading nowhere. A desert of metaphor, no better than random image screensavers. Jimmy offers inspiration on a little wing, on angels' exaltations. This rocking patio chair with its peeling paint, a poor man's throne in an empire of dirt, holds me groaning. I scratch these letters first for adulation, first for consecration, finally for me. In the distance, in the quiet, when the cars passing sound like lapping ocean waves, listen to the coyotes calling wild, listen to the ancient howl. This is the second of the two poems that was chosen to be published. This one is entitled Candlelight Dinner. The meal on the table was meager, but the children were all fed. Rice and beans by candlelight before they're sent to bed. Our parents knew hunger so that we could dream. The next poems I'm going to read, some of you may have heard before. I really like them, so I want to make sure you all hear them. There is some Spanish in these. This next one is abuelo, and it's difficult for me to read. Abuelo is grandfather, for those of you who may not know Spanish. Harding and Leggett in metallic blue on a field of ivory white, truck doors meticulously hand-painted, squirrel hair brushes cleaned quietly in turpentine. A searchlight perched on the truck cab gave you authority for $5 an hour. I was 6 years old, and you, el rey. A sombrero for your crown, your chalice, un botella de cerveza. 2. Your callous hands swallow mine as we walk to your brother's house. Dissipated rain, roadside ditches overflow, inundate the infrastructure. The floodwaters, current, grab my shoelaces. No te dejar caer. 3. You were never old to me until I owned a camera. Pentax, a poor man's Canon. A hand-me-down I was proud of, a hand-me-down of love. A practice portrait with a teenage eye, you in front of roses. 4. You carry my daughter gently in your arms. You place flowers behind her ears. 5. Excuse me. 5. You close your eyes while driving. Grandma reminds you where you are. You can't remember where you were going. 6. Every encounter starts with a question. ¿Eres tú, Nico? You touch my beard with your frail paper hands. Your world stops at the front door. 7. You can't get lost in your backyard. The fence keeps you safe on the inside. 8. The nursing staff love you. You ask the girls to dance. You ask how long you've been here. 1 month is the only answer. I can't answer with an honest year. 9. Your white marble urn gently lowered by the caretaker. The sun beat through my sport coat sleeves. I should have placed you there. 10. Abuelita llora por ti. Okay. This next one's pretty long, and Professor Skeen said that he really wanted to hear me read it because it looks kind of crazy on the page. So I'm going to read it, and then hopefully at some point you all will get to see it. It's titled, I Too Will Die Soon. And so what? My years passed, slowed, and then all at once, with an expanding mind of sound and furies, I have succeeded as progression pulls the past into the future. Exaltations for change, raised voices and raised fists clenched to feel something, but it's only rage. And it too will die soon. And so what? Anchored to this ancient ocean, fertile seedbed of death, so that others might live. Faceless death with names like illegal alien, or migrant farm worker, or gangbanger, or sister, or brother, or daughter, or son. And I too will die soon. And so what? I never figured out how to climb out of this valley, fertile desert, surrounded by mountains, wondrous with canyons of kings and ancient beings, mercurial lines, rivers of snow erupting in fire to consume progress, to humble and reset minuscule bodies with illusory dominance and no reverence. I never figured out how to get off the ground. And so what? What candle do we hold? Do we light to our ancestors who walked these mountains, who found the elusive pass with coyote or without? Through dreams and through rivers as some future someone's ancestors still do, to land in modernity that will still kill them and will still bend their backs, cripple their hands, grow carcinoma, inhale chemical lung cancer starter kits for an unlivable wage and debt shackles that will be unbroken. And for what? And they will labor, as so many have, from sup to death, with the sign of the cross and genuflection to an altar, a shrine of protection to a god mocked in their foreign land once theirs, and they will labor, and for what? Buried in subconscious, unsealable galleons anchored in the sea, foreign gods with silver skin, never welcomed, but here to stay, blood of my blood, flesh of my flesh, I carry their conquering in every breath. And they died, as will I, and so what? This land inhabited by man, too many to understand this will never be settled. There will never be permanence. In fealty to some eminence, only prayers to the gods for life for today, prayers to gods for life for tomorrow, and sacrifice because we will die soon. And so what? I dreamed of a world in black and white, and it was flat and void. All expanse without boundaries, your visage only a handhold away, but your voice whispered from centuries away, a scream, a wail I strained to hear. I could not pull you closer, our toes, tree roots digging only deeper, or our destinations inching and inching away. And I know your voice will be replaced with wind shimmers through inevitable leaves of hair as you grow illimitable, an oak of ever-expanding size to shade and shelter your children and their children and their children and their children and their children, with branches to carry dreams of new worlds and conquests of their own until you become the lumber for their home and the revolutions continue and you have died. And so what? The masters change, and even then, only in name. Ritual killings trade the noose for the factory floor, the edge of the blade for the sharp prick of a hollow needle, the gun blast for a pill, the prison cell for the home office. The digital ships of conquest are welcome with open arms and enlightened minds. No more do we sacrifice or vanquished to the gods of the sun. No more do we strive to be free of shackles, free of dominion in a false veil of equality, and we will die another connection lost, another 404 error, a vacuum to be filled, a new data mine. And so what? There is safety in the program. Electric faith transcendence, artificial intelligence, blankets of soothing knowledge, perfect program benevolence, and the surrender to the ultimate conquest of man, the climbing above the summit assumption to the halls of heroes and the obsolescent mechanisms of war, with leaders' names on the tips of our tongues, and so what? and I will work, and I will remember Nicolasa, Reynaldo, Gilberto, Cipriana, Maria, Rodolfo, Alicia. I too will die soon, and so what? Okay, I hadn't read that last part out loud before. That was tough. This poem changed the way I wrote because I came to an art show here on this campus. So this poem is titled, I Spent So Long to Know English to Find That English Doesn't Care, after Felipe Baeza. The language doesn't care, it has no heart. It has no tongue but the one we give it. The language doesn't know words have no order but the one we give it. The language doesn't lash out, it has no hands to wield the hammer but the one we give to it. The language doesn't love, for it's just another word. It has no heart, but I do, to give to you. So my classmates and my professors have all said multiple times, there's a lot of death in your poems, man. And I said, yeah, I know, I'm sorry. People die around. So I figured, okay, I have to write some stuff that's a little bit brighter and happier. And that's gonna be hard, but I'm gonna do it. So I wrote this. This is a poem style called an ABC Darien, which I don't even know if it's real, but it works in such a way that everything is aligned on the left side of the page and it's the alphabet. And then every line starts with that letter. And then you try to write like every word with this letter, right? All A's, all B's, whatever. It's ridiculously difficult. And I wrote this wonderful, I think it's wonderful poem called A Baseball Darien. Stupid poem. A Baseball Darien. All American athletes, bitter baseball bunters, causing crippling crashes, dribblers down in the dirt, earning every error, Fenway Field Funhouse, game day giveaway, home team hoedown holiday, inter-inning instigations, jolting, jammed up at the knees, knocked out catcher blocking the plate, line drive home run, mustard munchies are a must. No one cheers for cheaters. Out at third, innings over. Pitcher has a weenie arm. Quick feed steals second. Reporters in the winners' faces, showers and champagne, you're the champs. Teammate triumph, umpire empire. Vin Scully lives forever. Wins and losses make a career. Extra innings are the best. You have to eat a hot dog. And Zip Zabel played for the Cubs. I didn't talk to Brynn about what I was going to read tonight, and then she mentioned this poem called Dashboard, and I had already chosen to read it. So, yeah, this poem. It's a pentatum, and there's a pattern. So listen for the pattern, and I hope you like it. Your face aglow from the dashboard lights. Your smile grew as the wind blew through your hair. No specific destination. 7 hours till dawn. Your smile grew as the wind blew through your hair. I turned the chrome knob on the radio. 7 hours till dawn. I told you to sleep if you can. I turned the chrome knob on the radio. The static shifts with the cosmos. I told you to sleep if you can. I'm rested and I love you. The static shifts with the cosmos. The engine hums the miles. I'm rested and I love you. We could drive forever. The engine hums the miles, passing flooded fields of wheat. We could drive forever. the full moon rises melancholy. Passing flooded fields of wheat, you shivered with the new cold, the full moon rises melancholy. Mandolins play through the speakers. You shivered with the new cold, I pulled the levers, opened the valves, mandolins played through the speakers, I closed the vents to the outside air. I pulled the levers, opened the valves, covered you with my jacket. I closed the vents to the outside air, headlights show the way. Covered you with my jacket, the heater blows warm on our feet, headlights show the way, your face aglow from the dashboard lights.